Kevin Davis coming to you with another midweek motivational video. I bring this video to you from my barn today. As I was doing some reading in my scriptural reading one morning, the proverb writer really spoke to me in 14:4 when he made the statement, "Where there is no oxen, the stable is clean. But with the strength of an ox, there is a great harvest." And it just reminded me of the times that I spend in my barn. As I would come to my barn and I would look around and I see there is much effort and much work that takes place when you have animals and on a farm. But when I come to one of my empty stalls and I look in this empty stall here, this stall here is actually pretty clean for a barn. As we would see, this stall here is no bedding in the floor, is fairly clean. We see here in this stall there is a empty manger that does not require me to keep full of hay nor feed in the feed trough, nor does it require that I keep water in this waterer, because it's an empty stall. So as the writer said, where there is no oxen, the stable remains clean. So this empty stall in my barn actually doesn't require any effort whatsoever. Does not require me to get up early in the morning, does not require me to come up after dark, does not require me to maintain feed and water on a regular basis. There's not a lot of effort that goes along with this empty stall. But also when I think about that, I'll have to ask myself, well, what are the benefits of having this empty stall? You know, some people say, well, it could be beneficial for you later. It's something that you could do later on with it. But really, in all honesty, what with no effort required, what kind of benefit would I reap from having this empty stall? There's really no benefit from it. It doesn't require me to get sweaty, doesn't require me to get dirty, but I'm also not reaping any benefits from that. But if I were to go on over to the next stall, when I get to my next stall and we begin to look inside this stall, you're going to see inside of here, you see some of our pigs inside of here. You see some nasty bedding. It's barn cleaning day today at the barn. It's time to remove that bedding. You see here that we have a feed trough that remains, that has to be maintained full. You will see also inside here we have a water barrel that we keep full of water. Now that the cold months are here, we have to keep a heater in that to make sure that water doesn't freeze. So these animals have fresh water. They have all the feed that they need. We have to shovel this bedding out to maintain clean bedding for them to have in their environment. As they would go outside in their lot, it requires a lot of shoveling and a lot of cleaning out here in this lot to make sure that it is clean and sanitary for these animals, and it keeps the smell down as well. But when I look at this stall, there's a lot of effort here. There is a lot of work that has to take place. There's a big commitment here, because whether I feel good in the morning, they still have to eat. Whether I feel good in the evening, they still have to have feed and water. Whether I feel like shoveling or feel like cleaning, there's still something that has to be done. So it does require some effort. But there is great reward from putting forth effort. So when we put forth the effort, there are things that come forth for these. These pigs can have smaller pigs, which can be sold or put off, out in the market for someone else. These can be processed to put food on your table. They can be many different things that are done with these animals, but there's a lot of effort required. It does take that commitment, but it goes back to what I said the last week in the midweek motivational message about everybody needs somebody. I'm very thankful that when I'm traveling and when things that I have to be out of town, that I have people that are able to help me and make sure these commitments are fulfilled. So we do need the help of others in a lot of times in life. But just coming to the barn and just reading my morning reading, it just reminded me, the writer said that's so true, that if the stable's empty, it doesn't require any effort. But when you have something in a stable, although it requires effort, there can be some great reward. That's true in all of life. A lot of times we've been conditioned to, seems like in today's society, to just think that everything should come easy, that it shouldn't have to put forth the effort, that we should just maybe be entitled to some things. But I truly believe that we have to put forth effort. Anything worth doing is worth doing right. But when we put forth the effort and when we do things correctly and we do things right, what happens is we start reaping some rewards. So my question to you is, are you putting forth the effort? effort? Are you putting forth the effort to reap the greatest rewards that you can reap? Reading John Maxwell's book, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, I believe is where I read this story. There was a pianist concertist, a concert pianist that was playing so wonderfully on this piano. And somebody come up to them later and said, "I would give anything to be able to play the piano the way you play the piano." The concert pianist said, "No, you would not." Take him back just a little bit. "What do you mean, no, I would not?" "Well, if you would wake up early in the morning and spend hours practicing, if you would practice until your fingers were sore, maybe even to the point that they're cracking and blistered, if you would stay up late evenings and put forth the hours that I have put forth playing this piano, there is no doubt that you not only could play as good as I play, but maybe even better if you're willing to put forth the effort." A lot of times people do not see the effort behind the reward. We see the rewards and we look and we say, "Wow, aren't they lucky? Aren't they lucky?" Thomas Jefferson reminded us, and he said, "I find that the harder I work, the more luck that I have." That's what happens a lot of times. People think that it's luck, but in most cases, it is the effort that is put in behind the scenes. It's the effort that is put in the wee hours of the morning and the late hours of the evening. It's all the sweat and all the hard work and all the processing and thinking and all the things that are done behind the scenes that we begin to reap the benefits from those. I want to encourage you this week. You may not see the results immediately. You may not see the results that you want instantly. You continue to put forth the effort. I believe Zig said persistent consistency. If you'll be persistent and you'll be consistent and you'll put forth the effort, you're going to reap some rewards. If your stable's clean, you're probably not going to expect much reward if you're not putting forth any effort. But if you're putting forth the effort, you can rest assured there'll be some rewards to follow. As we wrap up this midweek motivation, I trust today that this video has inspired you. I hope it's equipped you, and I hope it's motivated you to live your best life. May God bless you until next time when we see you again.